Hi Capricorn, welcome. So Capricorn, this is going to be your June reading. I'm going to be doing something new this month where I'm combining the spiritual general reading with the you versus them love reading. The first portion of this is going to be the spiritual reading, and the second portion is going to be the detailed you versus them. If you're only interested in the you versus them, feel free to click the timestamp in the description box below and it'll take you straight there. Otherwise, let's get into it, Capricorn, and see what we have coming in for you. You have the card of Uranus. This is also talking about revolution, Scorpio energy for some of you. You may be connecting with that or have that in your chart. Or it's just about breakthroughs, brainstorms, insights. Sometimes this can be a bit of an erratic energy, a very unexpected movements, changes, shifts in moods and energy. So something to be aware of, but it's a very freedom-based energy. It's also talking about awakening and seeing things clearly, right? Like sometimes things need to get shaken up so that you can see clearly what matters the most to you, right? So then you have the Two of Wands, excuse me, which is all about progression and moving forward. So some sort of change coming through here that is giving you kind of like a little bit of a wake-up call, but it's also providing you more expansion, more ability to experiment, more freedom in your life. You also have the card of the Page of Swords. Not too crazy about that card. It's talking about gossip, immature behaviors. Sometimes this is like an online stalking card. I don't know if that's something you got going on, Capricorn, or you're connecting with someone who, maybe a gossip queen or a gossip king, right? That doesn't necessarily have the best intentions. So, yeah, let's get into this and see. My goodness. Let's get into it and see, Capricorn. Let's see what the Osho Zen has to say. You have the card of exhaustion and existence. So, see, change can do two things to us. For some of us, if we're railing against it or we're feeling a lot of resistance, it creates exhaustion. It physically depletes us, it emotionally depletes us, etc. But if we see change as an opportunity for experience, for something new, then it creates this expansive feeling where everything feels available to you. So it's almost like, do you want to be your own worst self-critic and exhaust yourself, or do you want to go in the way of progression and seeing this as a positive? Now, some of you, there's progression coming through in your own spiritual journey, but there's also this propensity to kind of go to a more immature part of yourself, the ego-driven part of yourself, and get bogged down in like the he said, she said, social media, what others are doing, comparisons, things of that nature that for some reason our brains are hardwired to kind of go in that direction. Even for my most spiritual people, we could still be pulled in that direction, right? It's a part of our collective consciousness, something collectively that we have as a society yet to really master, but all of us in the process of mastering it. Okay, so let's go into the headspace then and get more detail. Then we're going to go into the heart space and see what we have going on there. And then the big spiritual picture. So, headspace for my Capricorns. Queen of Cups, King of Wands, Ace of Pentacles in the headspace. The Hangman. And the Chariot. So, I feel like Capricorn, there may be your career or your money being highlighted. I got the song Money on My Mind. That may be something that you're working on right at this moment. But it's like, don't overexhaust yourself by worrying or being so skeptical in that area. Instead, let it flow. Let it flow, okay? There's this very emotional and yet very determined energy showing up. And then the Hangman here, which is all about awakening. It's all about seeing the truth. It's almost like sometimes we hide the truth from ourselves because we're not ready to see it. But divine timing always brings it to us when we are ready, even if it doesn't feel that way. But it's always with the purpose of expansion and movement forward. So some of you are gaining some sort of new perspective that's allowing you to move forward on something. And it could be towards a goal, towards a commitment, or towards a person. It'll be different for each of you. But I feel like you'll know what this is. So let's go deeper. I have a song by Alicia Credi. I think that's how you say it. C-R-E-T-I. Oh gosh, what was the name of the song? She says, I need love. She says, my heart was wounded. Check out that song. I can't remember the name of it. If you know the name of it, put it in the chat. Alright, the Magician, the Knight of Cups, the Queen of Swords, the Page of Pentacles, and the Knight of Pentacles. So, Capricorn, in the heart space, there is a manifestation of things to be grateful for, but also a manifestation of some sort of vulnerability here, or it's like some of you want to take the more vulnerable approach when it comes to love and emotions, but there is like this guardedness that shows up inside of you. It's almost like, you know how when we're young, and listen, we all have things we haven't really gotten over yet, but we tend to have a lot more insecurities, like when we're freshly, newly forming relationships and stuff, right? Talking about like the teenage formative years. But you know, it's almost like wanting to put yourself out there, but then like if they say anything to hurt your feelings, it's like a massive reaction or a complete shutdown, one of the two. And it's coming from this place, Capricorn, inside of you that really needs some development and growth. And that's all right, right? But this is blocking you. This is keeping things stagnant from you. This hyper, you better respect my boundaries and follow my lead type of energy that I'm feeling here. It's like, oh my gosh, I don't know how, it's like kind of like tough love. You know, have you ever had a teacher in school and you know that they're a good person and they mean well, but they just rule with an iron thumb or an iron fist or something, you know, where it's like, do not disrespect me. Well, you cannot command respect out of another person, and you certainly don't gain respect by pointing out where others are disrespectful. In fact, you just, via law of attraction, create more things to feel disrespected about when you focus there. It's almost like the way you garner that out of a person or people is to respect thyself, but also to love others, and to not need that notoriety or that, it's almost like a power move, you know what I mean? It's like one thing, it's beautiful to be a powerful person, but not when it comes at the expense of controlling others or their behaviors or even how they treat you. You know, people treat you how they feel about themselves. It's not even personal to you, but I don't know why I'm going into this. I don't know. Maybe this more stern part of you is coming out. And if this isn't you, Capricorn, this could be someone you're connecting to. You could be connecting to someone during this time frame that has it out for you, or just like they are childish, they are short with their words. It makes you want to kind of pause, you know, or not move forward with this person. It completely exhausts you if it's someone else, but you're also giving attention to it in a negative way, which is causing the exhaustion even further. So it's like, it's almost like if this is someone external from you, it's like you got to treat it like a child, meaning like you don't give attention to the negative aspects or the fit that they're throwing. What the heck? This is a weird reading. I hope this is making sense. All right, let's go into the spiritual piece of it. And for some of you, if it's you doing it, and please keep it honest with yourself, right? And not in a judgmental way, because we can all be a little bit childish, right? Me included, everybody on the planet. If it's you doing it, right, it's usually coming from a place of insecurity or being wounded in the past. And that's understandable, but you're not going to get what you want out of that. It's almost like your inner child may be throwing a little bit of a fit, a tantrum. Well, how do you soothe the tantrum? You got to look the other way. You got to know that's not really who you are. You're bigger than that. You're better than that. The larger part of you is not focused on that. Holy cannolis. King of Swords, Page of Swords, Five of Swords, and the Death card. Scorpio energy here. Lots of air energy. Aquarius, Libra, Gemini. Whoa. Whoa. This is not great energy. Oh, geez, Louise. Okay, so if you're dealing with, say this is someone that you're dealing with, don't try to reason with an unreasonable person. Don't try to be understood by someone who's committed to misunderstanding you. Do not exhaust yourself by lowering yourself to that level. Instead, you need to move away from that propensity or that need. You may have someone here that is, just to be quite frank, a butthole. I don't care if they're male or female. It's showing up as more masculine energy than anything, but because it's a general, could be male or female. But it's like, whoa, holy cow. This person is ruthless. They're immature. They don't think before they talk. They get down in the gutter. They can be quite spiteful. And there's an ending coming here in that situation. Some of you are so exhausted by this person. It's like it's either got to change or end. And this time period, it's going to do one of the two. It's either going to change or it's going to end. But it ain't going to change by you creating rules and boundaries and demanding for them to change, because you cannot control if someone else's changes their self. One of two things is going to happen. Either you're going to change by moving away from this or finding a way to focus on their positive aspects as well as your own, which will raise your vibration, this person will have to accommodate that raise in vibration to meet you where you're at, or there will be an ending. So the power is all within you. It's got nothing to do with demanding someone to be different. It always is self that must be different to get a different outcome. So some of you have allowed yourself to be pulled down with this person, and now it's pulling out your immature self, which is halting your spiritual growth, impacting you emotionally, and it's just creating more and more and more things to be upset about or fight about, whatever, and that's got to change. Your response to them is what has to change, whether that's no response or a softened response. And some of you say, well, why should I take the higher road? They aren't. Because if you don't, this will continue in a perpetually never-ending cycle of misery. That's why. Taking the more mature approach has nothing to do with helping the other person out. It is completely and solely to your benefit to take the higher approach, because it's the only way things are going to change for you, right? Oh my goodness. Wow. Holy cow. If you're not dealing with anyone at all, you live under a rock, you're alone, then this is all an internal battle. This is letting old stuff creep up on you that really brings you into your own shadow, and it's something that has yet to be healed. And you know what it is because it exhausts you every time you go there. And this is the time frame to get a new perspective so that you can finally move past it. All right? So let's see what the guidance is. It says, stay connected. We are all born connected to spirit, often known as the divine. Yet most of us have a tendency to pull away from that connection as we journey through life. Now is an important time to reconnect with your source and remember who you really are. And who are you really, Capricorn? You are a lover. You were born of love, and you will return to love. And the only way you're ever going to feel good in this time-space reality, in this human body, is to allow yourself to flow that love, regardless. Okay, so, wow, holy cow, I'm very excited to see what you versus them holds. I'll see you in just a minute. Welcome back, Capricorn. So now we're going to go into the you versus them portion of the reading and see what we have coming up. Keep in mind it is a general, so the roles may be reversed. Feel free to flip it if you need to. Take what resonates, leave what doesn't, and let's go ahead and get started. So, wow, you've got three cards out. I'm going to put that one back. Capricorn, your energy, the ascendant and the 7th house of relationships, Libra energy here for some of you. But this is talking about your more ambitious self, the more structured part of you, staying down to earth, not letting people shake you or this person. It's also about how you view others, how you view self, and how that relates to those we're connecting with, right? As relationships often act as a catalyst for growth, but also a projection of self. So let's see, Capricorn, your overall energy, 8 of Swords and the Fool. Some of you feel like there's something new here that you want to go towards, but for whatever reason, there seems to be a restriction around that. And oftentimes, the 8 of Swords talks about mental restrictions, things we tell ourselves that prevent our own growth, our own blockages via our thoughts, right? This person has the Page of Cups, which is all about friendship, kinship, being open to new connections. But sometimes this can also talk about a need for more emotional growth or immaturity. So let's get into it and see. We're going to look at the recent past and what led up to the now. Recent past for my Capricorns. Oh my gosh. You know what? I reshuffled these cards. I even staggered them, put them in a different order to see if I would get the same energy. And the first card out is the Page of Swords, which was crowning the spiritual reading. I'm liking combining the two because often the message begins in the spiritual and then it bleeds into the you versus them. But yeah, that's a repeating card right there. 3 of Swords, the strength. And the stinking 8 of Swords. Some of you have really been battling with your own mind, and it's like the more you dwell, the worse it hurts. And some of you, gosh, you've been your own worst enemy. It's like that you're stronger than this. You know that it doesn't serve you to allow your thought space to go in that direction, to allow your mind to focus on things that are going to hurt you, and yet you keep doing it. And it's a cyclic pattern here. It's not something you intentionally do. It's not something any of us intentionally do. But when we haven't healed something within ourselves, when we're feeling at our lowest, our brain will always remind us that it's still right there. You know what I mean? So it's a little bit of that going on here. Let's see this person's recent past, the Star. That lyric is still in my head from the spiritual reading. It's Alicia Creddy. She says, "My heart was wounded She says, see, I'm too broke for saving, and I'm too gone for healing, but I need love. All right, so this person has been in this space of trying to heal themselves or heal things in the connection, possibly trying to see the brighter side, and yet sometimes they feel really alone, like they're not part of your life maybe, or something that they want to belong to, if nothing else. Like this person is very rooted in relationships and family, and yet they feel the absence of that when they're not in their higher self, right? But even though they feel that absence, I feel like they still are trying to see the good in this, or the good in something. Like they're still holding hope, okay? So what is your perception? We're going to go into the now energy, perception in this moment of each other and how you feel. I cannot get that finally. All right, Nine of Swords, Ten of Pentacles, the Devil, which is your energy, your card, and the Chariot, another repeating card. So, yes, you know, wow, Capricorn, holy worry wart. Like, you might even be having, like, visions in your dream state, but they're not really great visions to have. And Spirit is trying to pull you out of this energy, but you got to be a willing participant, right? Some of you stressing about your foundation, some of you career or finances possibly, but whatever it is, you're fixated on it. You're fixated on it, and you need to move forward from it because, quite frankly, it's out of your control anyways, right? And all you can control is how you respond. Some of you are just like really overthinking something to the point that it's hurting you. Now, when you are dwelling on something and it's making you feel worse and worse and worse, that emotional reaction is your sign, is your indication that whatever you're focused upon it in a way that your higher self does not agree with, does not see it that way. Meaning you got to back away from that and either stop thinking about it for a while and or try and soften the perspective. Try and see it through the eyes of your higher self. Well, how does your higher self view everything and everyone? Through love. And the further you get away from that, the worse you feel. Whether that's not loving yourself, and for a lot of you it's not, but you may not recognize it as such, or not loving others. Because we're all connected. So let's see. 10 of Wands, the Lovers, the Hanged Man, and the Strength card. So this person's in this space of, you know, they feel the struggle, right? But again, I feel like this person's like trying to see the silver lining or the glass half full, and you're over here at the glass half empty, you know. You know, like, and sometimes Capricorn, that can be a trait of Capricorn, of all the earth signs, because you're such an analytical, realistically minded zodiac sign that sometimes it borders pessimism, right? Or seeing the worst, even when you don't mean it. So, and as someone with like 3 or 4 Capricorn placements myself, I get it. But it's like this person, don't get me wrong, they see the struggle. Sometimes they feel like they're in this alone, but they also see the value of the connection. They see the silver lining. They see it for what it is. And it's like, even though it may be difficult at times, I feel like this person wants to persevere, okay, regardless in the connection. All right. So let's go deeper into the emotional space then. Three of Wands, the Empress. Whoa, 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 whoa. Oh my goodness, so much going on here. So Capricorn, I feel like you're kind of at an impasse here. This is a good time to focus on self and to know your worth, right? Before moving forward. There's a lot of hesitancy in your energy. Like, some of you are just like, yeah, I not planning to do really anything about this, or definitely not planning to, you know, move forward in something or invest into something right now, unless it's yourself, because there's this tug of war going on and it's messing with your happiness, and honestly it's completely exhausting you. So it's almost like where you get to this point of like, I can't think about this anymore, you know, like I can't do this with you anymore, I cannot struggle with this anymore. It's the heaviness you feel right before you get to a moment of surrender. You know, because people say like, well, how bad can it get? Well, as bad as it needs to get before it completely depletes you and you have to surrender it. You know, and we try to wrestle things to the ground with our minds, with our actions, but the truth is, true power does not come from forcing or pushing. It comes from acceptance, allowance, surrender. There's something here that you've been battling with, whether it's with this person or not. Maybe it's something internal that needs to be surrendered. Let's see this person's heart space. King of Pentacles. Knight of Swords. Four of Pentacles. I'm too broke for saving. I'm too long to heal. 'Cause baby, I'm not breathing. I need love. Alright, so I feel like Capricorn in this person's heart space, you know, they may not communicate this directly to you, but I feel like this person is definitely holding on, and they will hold on to things that are valuable to them. What they're really holding on to, though, is their feelings, because they feel so much passion and yet confusion at the same time. Like, do I continue to give to this? I want to give to this, but I'm not really sure. I feel the attraction, or I feel the passion, I feel the emotion, but you know, you can't give when someone's door is closed energetically. You know what I mean? Like, you can't give to a closed vessel, right? And so if you're closed down for whatever reason, whether it's about this person or not, maybe you have your own like personal battle going on, and this person is a witness to it and they want to be there for you, they are not a match to you unless they themselves get in the gutter. So even if they were there for you, you would not recognize it as such. You would not be in receptive mode of it. So so frustrating for the other person then when they want to give and they cannot give because the vessel is closed, right? Now, some of you, you've closed this person off purposely because the struggle maybe is about them or caused by them or something. And it frustrates them still, even if that's the case, because they still have all these feelings and they're holding on to them. So let's see what's going into the future energy then. Ace of Cups, Judgment. Knight of Cups. Justice. I'm happy to see this. Tower. There's the big change that's coming through. Some of you, it's like you're getting to this point of just like, ugh, I have to let this go. I have to surrender. I have to forgive. I have to release, or whatever this is, because it's going to kill you if you don't. You know what I mean? And I don't mean that literally, but like spiritually, energetically. Yeah, it's going to deplete you. So it's like you get into this space where you just got to let the love flow. It don't even matter what you're flowing it towards. Could be your puppy, could be yourself, could be a project you have, could be this person. I don't care what it is. But it's to this point, Capricorn, where if you don't let that love flow, you're going to drown. So it's like consciously making the decision to open yourself up to love, to open your own pipes of love. I don't know. and to express yourself and to let yourself be in that space. And that's what ultimately brings the balance. That's what ultimately brings the karma to the situation. It's got nothing to do with the other person. Go back to the spiritual reading. It has to do with you closing your own valve of love off. We think we hurt because of what other people say or do, but the only thing that genuinely hurts us is our response to it and our cutting ourselves off from the love that wants to flow from source and blaming it on another person, right? But it's a natural response of the ego, and that's fine, and process it, but don't let it weigh you down to the point that it destroys you. And you got to always return back to that space of love, because if you don't let that love flow, you're going to pay the price, because you're not going to feel good, right? So it's like, what is the answer? What is the answer to all of life's questions? The answer is always the same. Return to love. All right. And when you do that, and I see a lot of you have already done that or in the space of doing that or will be doing that, watch as this changes. Watch as balance is brought to the situation and answers are delivered. Whoop, that's the wrong deck. Let me put that one back. Where did my other deck go? Oh, there it is. Jeez Louise. Let me take note of these cards. Four of Pentacles, Knight of Swords. Yeah, this person is holding on to something, by the way, that they want to communicate, but they're not communicating. And why aren't they communicating it? I'm not sure. Maybe it will create more confusion, and they're worried about that. Three of Wands, Page of Pentacles. Pentacles and the Page of Wands. So yeah, this person is looking to their future. They made decisions. They know where they want to put their time and energy. They know what is worth it. They see potential here for something to grow into something bigger, and they're willing to put their best foot forward, I feel, Capricorn. So this person, it's almost like their energy opens up as yours opens up, because you are connected to this person. And in that opening, right, whether it's your mind or your heart, whether you express it or don't, it creates balance in the alchemy of the connection here. And then this person wants to offer something to you. And they are looking to their future, and they feel intuitively guided as well to do this. Yes, and to express the Knight of Cups and the Knight of Cups. So, wow, super interesting reading. Let's see what the guidance is here. It says a mother's love. A mother's love is reaching out to you at this time and holding you close. This is a reminder of how important the feminine is in our lives, particularly the mother. There may be some sort of involvement from your mother, their mother. You may be a mother. I don't know. The feminine in your generational line. Take a look at that. And of course, the card of vulnerability, which is what I knew would come out. This is confirmation that you're seeking to tread into the unknown, where your decisions will be based on intuition rather than rationality. Do not let fear hold you back. Vulnerability is not a weakness, Capricorn. So, wow, beautiful reading. I'm going to leave it there for now. Zodiac signs that you may be connecting with or have in your own chart. I've got Capricorn, Libra, Aries, Libra again, Pisces, Virgo, Leo, Gemini, Leo, Aquarius, Libra again, Leo again, Sagittarius, Taurus, Capricorn, Cancer, and Leo again. Those are the predominant signs I'm seeing, but keep in mind it's a general reading. Take what resonates, leave what doesn't. If it did resonate, do let me know in the comments down below. Also, don't forget to give me a like, share, and subscribe by clicking the notification button so that you don't miss out on any future videos. If you'd like to donate to the channel, you can do so in the About section. And otherwise, I'm wishing you the very, very best, Capricorn. And until next time, my friends, namaste.